at almost $500,000.
We've got to talk about that Resheknikov at some point and the insanity of how he got here. But we'll wait until the action is on him at some point. Meantime, the action seems to always be on Volodko. This time with a Queen Jack. There is no way he's going anywhere here. If he calls it a 7-4 of clubs, Queen Jack must look like quad aces.
One of my favourite hands, the Queen Jack suited. So pretty looking. I mean, we've seen him do it once where he flopped a higher flush versus opponent. I wouldn't put it past him again. If he was to make a flush against Kurshakov, given how the both of them been playing, I feel like it might be a very tough one to get away from.
Breaking Bad's Jesse Pinkman likes the look of his ace-7, so he's going to like it even more now. Look at that flop there. But there's a bit of a problem, and that's because Pishigin has also got an ace, and he's got a better kicker.
I'd be very surprised to see Kurshakov continuing to tree people here. It looks like he is going to continue that relentless aggression.
Against 3 players on a board like that takes some doing. Certainly looks strong. I've got a feeling he might get looked up here, Vincent.
It's going to be very hard for Carrera to ever get away from this with the 20 big blinds. Wow.
What's this? Volodko! What's he doing? No! Oh, my head's spinning now. This is developing into something a little bit ugly here.
He does have some very nice backdoors. And Kurshakov is opening a lot of hands, but he's got to take into consideration that this pot is 4-handed.
There is a back door, but that back door is positioned about 15 miles away. He's got a long way to get to it.
Wow, so this is now a very, very ugly spot for Carrera. He is in the big blind, he has ace-7 suited, but when you see a bet, a call, and a raise, there's no flush draw on the board, there's no other draw, so this needs to be a complete airball for him to ever to have the best hand. So I actually don't think it's impossible that he ends up folding here. He might have been saved by this raise.
Absolutely, and his stack size, this is a big chunk of it. This is very much a situation where he should either fold or go all in, isn't it?
I mean, he could call, but the problem is that if he calls and it's a brick on the turn, it's going to be very hard to then fold. But the problem is if he shoves, he never ever gets called by a worse hand. Neither option is great, to be perfectly honest, shoving or calling. It's just a really ugly spot straight off the bat.
Well, maybe Volodko's helped him here because Pishigin had to make that big raise. He might have just flatted Kursakov's initial bet, meaning Carrera could have flatted or perhaps even raised. Wow. He's gone all in! And it's back up Volodko, who surely, after a little bit of dwellage, is going to get out of the way. And then Pishigin's got a call, right?
I mean, Volodko's got 60% of a roll flush, but yeah, I mean, at this point, I can't imagine that Pishigin's going to be too happy with his hand, but he'll reluctantly put in the chips and be pretty happy to see it. Obviously, some decent chop opportunities, but any card below a 6, a 5, a 3, or a deuce will give him the win. It looks like he's going to go for that stand-up equity.
Yeah,
no, maybe
he's got more chance of splitting it than he has of winning it. Carrera here. He's all in, the glasses come off. He's standing up. He might be taking everything with him in a second, because he needs to find a 7, or he needs to hope that the board runs out as a chop pot.
That is not the card he was looking for. He's going to need a 4 or a 5 to find a chop now.
Or 3 7s to take it outright and get the double through.
No.
Get ready to step off that stage.
You're up to 7.
Because you are out, Pavel.